welcome to part 2 of the Sew Along challenge, or the Sew Along for Butterick 4790. So I hope everyone is well today. I'm just going to wait a couple minutes for everyone to join in. How is everyone doing today? I've got my mannequin up there so I can show you how I oh, one second, let's see. Not sewing a dress. Okay, well, if you're not sewing, you are still welcome to chat and join in. I love that everyone is here. Hello, Bernadette. Okay, so let's just see. Just waiting a couple more minutes for everyone to come in, and then I'll get started. So show of hands, actually, or show of thumbs up. How many of you are working on the dress today? Managed to get the pieces cut out, and if the babe allows, I may get it sewn. Yay! Oh, yes, kids can make sewing difficult, but I guess they're worth it. Oh. Okay, so I've got my chat set up down here again. I'm going to try and bring you guys more with me when I'm over at the machine today, because a couple comments from yesterday, just they wanted more action of the machine when I was sewing. So I'm going to try that out today, and hopefully it'll work. How is the internet? Is there any lagging for you guys at all right now? Hoping there's no lagging today. There we go. Okay, so we are 2 minutes in now. I think everyone, well, more people will come in as we get going. So the dress has been hanging for 24 hours now, or I guess a little under 24 hours. And I've already started kind of leveling the hem. So what I do to level the hem, actually, let me bring you guys over here so you can see it. Okay, this is might be a little bit of an interesting angle, but I will do my best. Okay, so when I'm leveling the hem, I start at the center front and I pin a measuring tape to the waistline. There we go. 1 second. Let me move this over here as well. Okay, now I'll be able to see your guys' chats because I have my little thing moved over. What is the minimum for dress should hang? Minimum 24 hours is what the pattern says. Ideally, you can do like minimum 24 hours up to 3 days. I don't know, is this lagging at all? Let me know if this is lagging. I'm trying to, I'll get this out of the way. Okay, so minimum 24 hours, and that'll just be, it'll be at least stretched enough that it won't stretch too much. Now, some fabrics do stretch quite a bit more. So if you really want to be safe, 3 days is a really good time. There's some lag and jerkiness. Okay. It might be because I've just moved to this side of my sewing room. The internet's on that side of the house, and so it might be a problem on my end. I will move it back in just a minute. So when I'm doing the hem, I always find the straight of where the straight is of the skirt, the straight of grain. So that is the area that's not on the bias. What about the start after breakfast, wear to lunch? Yeah, I think that you're not worried about it stretching at all. So anyway, so when I'm marking the hem, I then take my measuring tape and move it over, keeping it on top of the measuring tape at the waistline. And then I go down and take pins and mark the same measurement that was at the front of the skirt on the straight of grain. So I have already marked all this out. My new measurement length is now 29 instead of 31. So my skirt has stretched about an inch in some areas, and then I think the biggest stretch was an inch and a quarter. So it's not too big of a difference, but if you are wanting a perfectly level skirt, then it's just a nice thing to do. So yeah, I just continue going around, moving my pinning the length that I want it to. So all my pins in here are marked. And so what I'm going to do is I pinned this just above the 29 inches, and then I'm going to trim it just below. So the pin will still be in there, and it makes things go quickly. So I can take my measuring tape down now. If you stand still, it's not necessary. True. And if someone is inspecting your hems that close, one of my teachers said that they're not there for the dress. So yeah. What is the hem allowance on here? On the circle skirt, the hem allowance is 5/8 of an inch. On the under portion of the skirt, it is an inch and a quarter. So this is a little bit shorter than the circle skirt. And the circle skirts, you don't want the hems to be too thick because then they are actually quite difficult to turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this all off, and then I'll show you how I hem it all out. Okay, so starting at the center front, that's all fine. And then right here is my first pin. So I'm just going to start going around and trimming. And it's really easy to do. Like, I put my pins every couple inches. I'm getting some weird feedback. Yeah. And it just makes it quite easy to follow. And if it's not perfect, really no one's going to be that close to your skirt. So it's not a big deal if it is not perfect. So I think, what's the saying? Perfect. There's a saying about being perfect. I can't remember what it is right now. And again, if you're worried about it, you can just bend down. It's always nice when you're hemming to have your skirt on a higher level, unless you really want to crouch down to the floor with it. Yes, my dress is 100% cotton. Sorry, I've just got my little chat thing right here so I can see. There we go. Yes, my skirt is 100% cotton. I think it was from the quilting section of my fabric store when I bought it several years ago. So yeah. A little too quick there. And bad habit, but I usually just throw my scraps on the floor and then clean it up, or not mop it, sweep it up all later. So there we go. Moving along. Okay, so how's everyone doing today? Somehow it didn't warp. Hung it up and it's cotton, so it's gonna be, or I assume it's gonna be fine. Yeah, some fabrics don't stretch at all. It really depends, I think, on how tightly it is woven. yeah, I don't know, it really depends on how tightly it's woven. There we go. This one. But yeah. Some skirts don't move at all, some do. It depends on the fabric. What is going on there? This side is significantly higher. So I don't think I leveled this properly. Huh. Anyways. Nope, there we go. That's where I was supposed to start off again. I have a ruler that is attached to the base that stands vertically. Yes, I would love to get one of those things where you just put the dress on and like pump chalk to where the hemline's supposed to go. Those are amazing. We had one of those at school and I absolutely loved it. But yes, I have not purchased one of those yet. Getting fabric all over me today. $35 at Fabric Bell. I'm gonna have to go take a look at that. Okay. There we go. Again, just keep spinning and going. So yeah, most of mine has warped, I think a maximum of 1/2 inch, and then just some sections where the bias is really, really big, it warped about 1 inch. So yeah, not too much of a difference, but it is noticeable if you are looking for it. So what did everyone get up to last night? My husband and I had a date night on the couch, so we watched a movie last night. So that was quite fun. Okay. There we go. I'm playing Animal Crossing. I keep seeing Animal Crossing coming up. What is Animal Crossing? I've never heard of it before until like this past weekend. I've seen a lot of people posting it on Instagram, but I have no idea what it is. I watched Crazy Rich Asians last night too. Oh my goodness, that movie was something else. Oh yeah. Yeah, I could not. That's style is insanity to me. Like, it's crazy that people could actually live like that. I don't know. Okay, just a little bit more trimming left to do. So again, like it's so minimal. Most of these areas is like 1/4 of an inch. So my perfectionist tendencies are making me do it. But if you really wanted to, you don't even have to trim it. There we go. Yeah, I understand why he didn't tell her, but at the same time, it's just like, if you're getting into a relationship with someone, you have to be truthful from the beginning, because a lot of stuff, like, you need to be truthful from the beginning. There's a lot of stuff you need to know. Like, yeah. No, just not on his part. There we go. Editing into oblivion. I believe in you, Bernadette. Oh. Yeah. No, editing, I love editing when I'm in a good mood, but there's some days where I just don't want to edit at all. And that's part of the reason why I love live videos, because I don't have to edit them. So, a video game where you live in a town full of animals and help to rebuild the town and shops. Okay, so I think I've played a game like that before. It sounds very relaxing. Okay. This is not even. What is going on here? I don't think my measuring tape when I did this earlier was very good. Oh, goodness. Well, you know what? It's close enough. I'm not aiming for perfection today. Oh. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to trim a little bit more and then I'm done. There we go. Okay, cool. Now I'm just going to take all these pins out. Oh. A little bit blurry there. Okay. Coolio. Okay. Have you guys seen the new Emma yet? I haven't watched it yet myself, but I've heard amazing things about it, and the costumes are stunning. Oh my goodness. I have been watching many YouTube videos on clips on the costumes, and they're so pretty. I'm really excited for Carolina's video review for Emma. So she posted about that, I think, yesterday or today on Instagram. I'm so excited. It's going to be pretty. It's going to be so pretty. I think you can download it from Cineplex. Yes, I think you have a thing where you can stream it for like 48 hours or something and like $20. The viewing of it, several costumers watched it last weekend together. So it's fun. I love viewing parties like that. And now it's time to get to stitching. Yay! You want to see it, but you can't justify the $20 rental fee. Yeah, my husband's not really into those types of shows, so I completely understand. Yeah, it might be one of those things where I'll just wait until it's officially released and then see it then. But it's really pretty from what I've seen of it. Like, oh my goodness, her outfits are beautiful. Just beautiful. There we go. Okay. come down now. Okay. So yeah, had her up there for 24 hours almost, so that's good. Oopsies. Oh, and something I forgot to do during yesterday's stream is I forgot to put the darts in on the back of my dress, and I forgot to trim down the bust dart and overcast it. So that is something I am going to be doing today. But that is something I can sit at the sewing table over there and then we can chat over there like that, because it's all mostly handwork. A lot of handwork today. Okay. Have I picked out shoes and accessories to go with my dress yet? I will probably be wearing my black Marylands from Royal Vintage. I love the Marylands, and I got them when they were half a width bigger, or they were half bigger when they were first produced. So they're slightly larger, which is great for my size 11.5 feet. Shoe stretchers have become my best friend for American Duchess and Royal Vintage because I love their shoes, but I've got a very wide foot, so I picked up a pair of shoe stretchers, and that's definitely helped. I think I leave my shoes stretching for at least 4 or 5 days, and then I wear them around the house to try and get them to fit. So, Emma is your least favorite Austen. Truthfully, well, I haven't actually read Mansfield Park or which one? Yeah, Mansfield Park and Emma are the two that I haven't actually read. Shoe stretchers. Yes, you can get them on Amazon. I'll see if I can leave a link for the ones that I bought below. But yeah, I was not a big fan of the Gwyneth Paltrow Emma. I watched it when I was younger, but it just wasn't for me. Okay, so this I'm going to stitch these darts in, or they're more pleats than darts, I guess. So I'm just going to stitch these in the back, and then I will start hemming the circle skirt. Did facings. Bias tape isn't your thing. Oh my goodness. Yes, Kate. Size 11, wide feet. It's not easy to find nice shoes. It's really not easy to find nice shoes. Yeah. It's been the bane of my existence. So when American Duchess, or I guess, yeah, when America's Duchess first started, they had size 12 and 13 shoes. I got a pair of the Georgianas in the size 12. So that's really nice. Where did I get my wall-mounted thread racks? I found these at Value Village. I got a set of 2 of them. I think it was like $4 for both of them. Very, very happy find. Okay. Whole story of Emma is the poor rich girl finding out how much privilege hurts. Yeah. Okay, for Austen men, who are your favorite Austen heroes? My top 3 are Mr. Tilney, because he appreciates a good muslin. And in general, he's just a really nice character. I also enjoy Mr. Darcy. And then I would have to say Captain Wentworth from Persuasion. Persuasion and Pride and Prejudice were like my favorite 2 novels. And then I read Northanger Abbey and I fell in love with Mr. Tilney. Yeah, he's adorable. Okay, speaking of Regency, anyone know of a pattern for stays? Have you tried Red Threaded? They have the longer stay pattern, or the short stay patterns, and I think they have the H cup. But if not, it's really just adjusting the size of the gusset. You don't want to make them longer, you just want to make them wider. So if you look up, I think it's the Regency, or Oregon Regency Society. They have information on how to adjust cup sizes for Regency bras or Regency stays, corsets, whatever you want to call them. There you go. Wentworth and Tilney are the best. Yep, they're adorable. They're just so just cute. Okay. Yes. The only version I've seen is the one with him. I absolutely love his Captain Wentworth. So I'm sure the other ones are just fine, but he's my Captain Wentworth, just like oh my goodness, Colin Firth is my Mr. Darcy. He was the Pride and Prejudice was my gateway drug to historical costuming. I think that was like the first big historical costuming film that I watched. So Colin Firth will always have a special place in my heart for that. Oopsies. There we go. Okay. Hello, France. So glad you could join us. Seeing if I have anything else to add. Knightley, hands down. Also love Emma. Darcy is your second. Yeah. I think, like, in general. Oh, I forgot about Sense and Sensibility. Oh, what's his name? Captain. Why can't I think of his name right now? Okay, it'll come to me. It'll come to me. Anyways, so I have put my little pleats in the back here. That's not right. Whatever. They're in there now. Colonel Brandon. There we go. Captain Colonel Brandon. Or Colonel Brandon, not Captain. Colonel Brandon. Bingley. Yep. Okay, so moving on to the circle skirt. I could technically hem the front portion, but I'm going to wait until I have completed the circle skirt. For sewing the circle skirt, in the instructions, oh my goodness, it keeps going. Where's the end? There's the end. There's the end. Okay. Yeah, I guess I just look at the which version? The version with Kate Winslet and what's his name now? Oh, it's so bad. The version with Kate Winslet. I really like that version. The Bronte sisters. Yes, Jane Eyre. Such a good one. Okay, for hemming the circle skirt, I am just folding it over. It's about, let's see. Folding it over 3/8 of an inch. And then I am just stitching right along the folded edge. And so that way I'll have a nice clean finish when I turn this over. So I will bring you guys closer in just actually, here. Let me try and get you closer right now. Okay. trying to really get things can you see that okay? This will just have to move out of the way. Hopefully this doesn't wobble too badly as I sew. Okay, so that is turned over 3/8, and then I'm just sewing right along the edge there. And then I just slowly turn as I go, and I'm not forcing the hem. I am just folding it over and then trying to just keep everything even as I sew. So for the bottom of the skirt, it is done, or it's hemmed, and then the sides of the skirt are done with the bias tape. So I will show you when I get there. So, and the reason I'm sewing just right along the edge of this is because that way, when I turn it over once again, because I'm doing a double turned hem, this will be the stitching line that I follow when it is turned. So that way you only have one row of stitching, and it just keeps everything nice and tidy. Okay. And this process may take a little while, but take your time, just go through it nice and slowly. And it should all turn out in the end. Oh, that's getting a bit too wide there. So it is usually recommended to press the hem of circle skirts before you stitch them, but I'm kind of taking a shortcut today. so hemming not by, oh, I already answered that. Okay. So there we go. And if you really wanted to be really particular with it, definitely I would take it over to the ironing board and just finally someone. Yeah, well, with working with an industrial, there's a lot of power behind the machine. And so like in most industrial, in most I guess industrial sewing places, you hear a lot of fast, slow. So yeah. Anyways, continuing on. I'm just continuing. Okay. My mom and aunt can sew a hem almost nonstop. Yes? I'm just in the middle of sewing. Can I talk to you in a couple minutes? Okay. So I think I'm about a quarter down the skirt. Any advice for lining a little bit of sheer fabric? Do you want the fabric to stay sheer? Or like, do you, I guess that's not really, you don't want it to stay sheer, but is it quite a drapey fabric? Do you want it to keep its drape, I guess is what I'm asking. Because you can interline or underline fabric. I I cannot think of if that's the right word or not. But essentially, then you would take a fabric that is very similar to it, place them on top of each other, and then sew along the sides. And then they would become, you'd make them essentially like one. Oh, what is flatlining? Flatlining fabric. That is the word. Okay. Yes, flatlining. How do you get your machine to behave so well? I have been sewing on this particular machine for 8 years now. 7 years, 8 years. It is a foot pedal, or it's like a trundle machine, how they have the large foot pedal. I'll show you what it looks like underneath in a minute. So I use my toe to push it forward and my heel to stop the machine, if that makes sense. Also, it really just depends on how much pressure you put on the machine, because it, I don't know, it's all machines are temperamental, and you have to just kind of get used to them as you go. All machines have that sweet spot that they like to sew in. Or at least that has been my experience. So this is the sound you're going to hear a lot today. Mine looks just like yours, but I can't seem to control it. I don't know, I guess you could like draw lines on fabric and just try and work on trying to stop. I don't know. I just have been sewing a lot on this machine, so I don't really have any advice. Okay. I don't know if that advice was helpful at all. Okay, so where is the halfway point? This is the halfway point in the skirt, and then we have to hem it again. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this may take a little while, guys. I'll try and pick things up. Okay. Yes, practice, practice, practice. Or practice, practice, practice. It is a good thing. Okay. Sorry, this isn't the most interesting concept today. Dress is flatlined. Mostly, as overdress, need the green lining. Partially lined, looked off. I'm not quite sure what you mean. Darts. Yes. I like darts. As long as you can get them to look nice, I really like darts. Yay, reach the halfway point. Or I guess the quarter-way point, because I have to do this again when I turn it again. Okay. My black dress doesn't really follow the pattern other than a loose guide. Okay. Thank you for joining. I hope you have a good night and sleep well. Or good morning, depending what time it is. Okay. 1950s Loki. Ooh, that sounds fabulous. I love Loki. I think he's my favorite non-hero within the Marvel world. Is anyone else excited for Black Widow? I am really excited for that to come out. Okay. Actor who played Loki, he was in Crimson Peak. Definitely not Jane Eyre. I couldn't get through that movie. The costumes were beautiful, but it was a little too gory for my taste. I think I got to the scene before they got married. Spoilers? He was in The War Horse? Ooh, I have that movie. I haven't actually watched it yet. Oh, have you guys watched the updated or the modern version of Sherlock? Because I am hearing rumors that they are restarting for season 5 in 2021. So I am really hoping those rumors are true, because I do not have enough Sherlock. Oh. Yes, Bernadette, I am so excited. I really, really hope those rumors are real, because I will really cry if it's not true. Oh, what site was I on? It just randomly popped up on, I think, my feed one day, and I really need it to be true because I missed that show so much. Okay, guys. Almost done. Almost done the first round. Ugh. Yep. I have to say, Watson's beard or mustache when the show came back after Sherlock's death, that nearly killed me. That was so bad. Oh. Yes, Morgan Freeman. Not Morgan Freeman. Martin Freeman. And Blueberry Cucumber Patch. Yep. Yes, the modern remake of Sherlock was fabulous. And I need more. That's the one we were talking about. Yeah. It's funny though, because you say it and you still know who everyone is talking about. Yeah. Okay, I am nearing the end of this round of stitching, and then I'm going to give it a good press. Actually, I'll bring it over to the ironing board. I'm going to trim down my seam allowance, give it a good press, and turn it over. Woohoo! Okay. Yes, how he can't say penguin, or was it in the Disney one that he did that he had issues saying penguin? Okay, let's move you guys for a minute. There we go. Okay. Move this over here for a minute. Okay. Everything you find on season 5 says it's up in the air due to schedules. Oh. They'll make our dreams come true and release it again. Okay. So I will angle this down in just a moment again. So now comes the fun part. So I've got the nice clean finish on this side, and now I'm going to trim all this down and then give it a good press, and then I can rehem it again, and it'll go much faster once I've pressed everything up. So yeah. I guess technically you could do this. Oh, it's okay. We're only on hemming, so we are still on the first task, but welcome. Okay, let's see if that stays. You know what? I'm super lazy today. I don't think I'm even going to trim it today. I am just going to give it a press and then fold it up. What do you guys think? Trim it or don't trim it? What should I do? Is your dummy your measurements? It was my measurements last year. I have since then gained some weight, so my mannequin is smaller than myself. I am thinking of actually filming a video of me patting it back out. Live on the wild side. No trim. You're supposed to trim. It's not worth the time. Trim it. Okay, you guys. Thumbs up for trim or thumbs down for no trim. Pick one. Pick one. The next three emojis are the ones that I'm gonna do. Trim. Okay, we got one for trim. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Okay, trim it is. Trim it is. Okay. So this shouldn't take too long, but essentially all I'm doing, you can see how much I'm trimming off. There we go. Okay, guys, I won't be lazy. Yep. I know I should do it right. It's just sometimes you don't want to do it right. You just want to live on the wild side and be naughty. Of course, you're usually never happy when that happens. But yeah. Okay. So this is where a pair of applique scissors would be amazing. Because they have that nice little like duckbill thing that comes out from the scissors, so you don't cut the fabric underneath. I have yet to get a pair of those. They've been on my wish list for a while. I've been looking at the gingham ones. Gingham? I think it's gingham. So one day I will get myself a pair of applique scissors. I never want to do things right. If I was being really wanting to be really quick on this, I could have just serged the edge and then turned it up once and just left it at that. Oh man. Okay. There you go. And I guess by doing it this way, I am forcing the hem back in, or so it's not a wibbly hem. Okay, guys, thanks for keeping me honest. Ginger. Ginger. There we go. Ginger, not gingham. Gingham is the fabric. Okay. So, if you guys like this format and want to do something like this again in the future, what kind of pattern would you like to work on together and sew along? I don't think I would do them like right after, one day after the other. Yes, I do have a serger. If I'm creating projects where I'm not against using sergers. I think they are a tool and not something that's bad. I know Bernadette may disagree with me on that, but I am for sergers. They are very handy. They're great for if you aren't doing historical practice. And I'm not against them. So sometimes I'll use them, sometimes I won't. It just depends on the look I'm going for. More everyday dresses, please. Historical 90. Ooh, I would love to do like Victorian negligee. Those things are so pretty. I guess I should say what decade of the Victorian. I like 1890s. I am a huge 1890s fan. I haven't really gotten into the bustle era. I know Noelle is trying to convince me to come join her on the dark side. There is a bustle dress that I think Carolina shared it during her hot or not thing that she was doing on Instagram. There's one of the bustle dresses that she shared is one that I would love to make one day. So it was one of the blue ones. There we go. Trim, trim, trim. Following along, not following along right now, but I'd love to see more skirts. Are you thinking historical skirts, modern skirts, inspired skirts, kind of just a mix of anything, or with Noelle, bustles is where it's at. Huge fan of the late 1860s, early 1870s. There is an idea that I've been playing with. I might have mentioned it in my, not yesterday's live stream, but the live stream before that, where I would love to create a historically inspired garment for each era that I work in that is inspired by a Beauty and the Beast character. So there's a project that I have in my mind for the 1860s that is based on a character from Beauty and the Beast. So, and it wouldn't be like directly inspired, it's more like using their coloring and everything. Anyone else excited about 1940s? I love the 1940s. I forgot to turn on my water for my steamer. I love the 1940s. 1940s is so pretty. I usually stick with 1940s for my stuff, but this time decided to go a little bit later. But yeah, I love the silhouette of the 1940s, like just right after the war, where you start getting a little bit more fabric again. The 1940s is definitely something that suits my figure really nicely, though. Okay. 1940s pants. I do have a pair of high-waisted pants coming up in rotation soon, so there will be a video about that. It's actually the simplicity pattern, and I'm doing a couple different looks based off that one pattern. So you guys will be seeing 1940s pants hopefully before the summer. I need shorts for the summer, and one of the looks is the 1940s shorts overalls look. You'll see it when it happens. I've been saving a lot of stuff to my Pinterest, so you might be able to see some of my inspiration if you go there. Okay, I'm not trimming this perfectly. Yay, almost at the halfway point. And yeah. So what are some things that everyone is looking forward to right now? Obviously, with us mostly being quarantined for keeping everyone safe, it's not a lot of stuff to look forward to, but what are some things that are keeping you guys motivated and inspired and excited right now? And if you don't have anything, that is fine. We all are processing things. Looking forward to gardening. Yes. I'm looking forward to the nicer weather coming back. My husband is actually working in our garden today with our girls, so that is really nice. He's got them out there in their muddy buddies. Fiber nights at the local yarn store. Oh, that sounds like fun. Camping in August. Yes. In canning. So if you've done turkey stock. Oh, yummy. I used to do a lot of canning when I was younger with my mom. Like when Y2K happened, or I guess was going to happen. Give me a thumbs up if you know what the Y2K is, because I may have really just dated myself. Like, yeah. Okay, I got some thumbs up. Okay. I don't know. I was talking to my nephew, and he had no idea what the Y2K was. And I'm like, wow, I feel old. My mom bought a grain mill so we could do our grain by hand. I think she still has the grain mill. Yeah. Nope, we were all prepared. We had a lot of honey stored in our cellar. A lot of canned goods. That was fun times. Okay, so the Y2K is when it was going to be turning the year 2000. They were really worried that the computers wouldn't be able to make a switch to the year 2000, or from 1999 to 2000. And so they were worried that all technology was going to shut down because everything was going to switch over and they wouldn't be able to, their technology wouldn't be able to handle the switch. So that is what the Y2K is. Essentially, they were worried that everything was going to shut down, technology wouldn't work. And yeah, I don't know. It sounds so silly when you say it now, but a lot of people, including my parents, were prepared for it. Yes, the millennium bug. So I don't know. It's good to be prepared for things, but it's also, it feels kind of funny looking back at it now. No. Okay. Almost done trimming! Yay! Wasn't alive, but you know what it was. Yeah. Settling into new home, sewing wise, focusing on outerwear. Yay! And underwear. Yay. I haven't actually made my 19 footage of me making that in the fall, maybe closer to October, because I definitely want to have that coat for next year. I'm also working on undergarments, historical and modern. So, yeah, I think I talked about it yesterday in the feed, making the Watson bra, and that actually comes with panties or underwear, whatever you want to call them. So definitely I'll be making those soon. Those are more like my downtime, relaxing projects where I'm not filming. Not that filming is stressful, but sometimes it's just nice to not film something. It's nice to have a personal project instead of a work project. Okay. Oh, turn 32 tomorrow. Happy birthday! I'm going to be 30 this year. Definitely. I remember when I was younger thinking, oh my goodness, 30 is so old. And I still feel very, very much a spring chicken. And I still feel like I'm like 22, 23. And then nothing against 22 or 23-year-olds, but when I meet them, I realize, yeah, I'm not that age anymore. There are some very mature ones. I will grant you that. 39 in a month, 40 this year. Happy birthday, almost everyone. What is it? A very merry unbirthday. Can I say that? If it's not your birthday today, have a very merry unbirthday today. Yeah. I'm reaching the end here, and then I can turn everything over. Last entry. Sewing project is a huge purple and white 1871 dress for this summer. Oh, that sounds beautiful. For those of you that like the bustle era, do you prefer the 80s bustle or the 70s bustle? Or the natural form, I guess, because that's in there as well, kind of in between them. Did I make my blue dress? Yes. This dress is up on my channel, actually. I have a video of me making it. So if you want to take a look at that later, be my guest. It was fun to make. Okay, I finished trimming it. I hope you guys are happy. Now it's time to go back and iron this all and press the seam up, and then it'll be quickly sewing the hem down. There we go. All natural for me. Natural form, 1890s. Yes. Oh, a lot of 1870s. A lot of 1890s. Bum pad versus bustle all the way. I'm gonna try my hand at the bustle era. I haven't decided which one yet, like which area I'm gonna be looking at. It'll happen one day, and then I'll just get Noelle to talk me through the entire process. Okay. So now I'm just going to be folding this up and giving a nice press. So for this process, because it's a circle skirt, you can't just really like fold it and go. You have to kind of shape the hem. So something I like to do is kind of press it up where it's going to go, and then go between those 2 points and press. And just kind of shape the hem that way. Essentially, it kind of just shrinks it in then. It's not the most even I've done. And the wider your hem is, of course, the harder it is to turn it up. Okay. Sorry guys, I was ignoring the chat there for a second. Bigger bustles can sometimes make a lady look like Cinderella's stepsisters. My teacher said if you did not look like the backside of a Clydesdale horse, were you actually doing it right? That is, yeah, my university teachers always had funny little stories about costumes So oh. Okay, guys, I think I'm just going to move back over to the sewing machine and sew this down, and then I will come back and press it in a minute. Okay. I'll move this over so you can see again. Sorry if that's a little dizzy for anyone. There we go. Okay. Whoopsies. Tempted to match up Bernadette's Sherlock with BBC. Oh, that would be so much fun to mash it up. Okay. Is anyone making this dress in luxury fabric, contrasting colors? I don't know if you guys are, I think most of you, a lot of you have posted in the my sew along. You tagged me in the sew along. Oh, okay. I just realized how crooked that is. Are you guys okay with how crooked that is? It's fine. Cool. We're going for artistic angle. Actually, okay, that reminds me. On Instagram today, there was a fake account created that is a copycat of mine. If you guys are contacted by them at all, they've been asking people for to send them money. So it is not me asking that. So if you're contacted by them, please block and report them because that is not me. One person said that they asked them to send money because I'm sick with COVID and I can't pay rent, which is not true at all. So if you see a fake account that is not actually me, please block and report them. Thank you. Yeah, no, they've pretty much like gone after everyone in that that I've got or that's following me, and it's really kind of scary. So I hope no one has been affected by that. Yeah, scammers are evil, and to quote Firefly, they deserve a special circle in hell. Yeah. No. Not the special hell. What's the line? There's a special place in hell for people who talk in the movies, and I can't remember what that line was. The Reverend says it, and I can't remember. Does he say it to? I can't remember who says it to. Oh my goodness. Anyways, for a laugh, go look up that line and maybe tell me what it is, so I'm not. To Mel. Okay, he says it to Mel. Is that when he is talking about is it not River? Yeah, Shepard says it to Mel. I'm a huge geek. Okay, I don't know how many of you know this, but I am a huge geek. Like Firefly, of course, Doctor Who. I didn't get so much into Star Trek. Like, I watch it, but Star Trek's not really my thing. But yeah, I love sci-fi. Sci-fi is amazing. Thanks. I'm trying to be a cool kid. Okay, how many of you watch K-dramas? I watched a lot of Japanese dramas growing up, anime, of course the live actions, but I'm completely obsessed with K-dramas as well. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love that you named your daughter that. I think my gateway into K-dramas was My Lovely Samsoon. I ended up buying that one, and then Full House, not the American version. There's a really funny K-drama called Full House. Definitely look it up. They're so predictable, but I love them. Yes, Outlander. Love. There's some areas that I wish I could kind of skip over. Like, I'm not a huge fan of smut. But I enjoy the storyline. And I, of course, wish I could skip past the rape. But, yeah. Those scenes aren't a favorite for me. Hello! Welcome to the live stream! Yeah. Yeah, I'm live, and I should be live for at least the next hour to 2 hours. Yeah, the rape is a lot in Outlander. My husband's actually stopped watching the show because he says he doesn't like it anymore, just because it's gotten too much, and it doesn't end. Tonight's episode, I know what's going to happen in tonight's episode because I've read the book. And you guys, if you haven't seen it yet, prepare yourself, okay? Just find something warm and snuggly to cuddle, because tonight is going to be really not an easy episode to get through. Okay, for those of you who have read the books, what do you think of how they've kept Murtagh alive? Because in the books, he's dead. He died at Culloden. I love the actor who plays Murtagh, so I'm kind of glad they kept him in, but I don't know how I feel about him replacing Duncan. So, I don't know. We'll see. Yes, never stray from the book. I understand why they kept him though, because he's such a huge fan favorite. Everyone loved him or loves him. But I don't know how they're gonna move forward with it. Yeah. Oh, have a good night. Okay, I've been toying with sewing live since none of us are able to leave the house, but I was worried that I'm going to forget the cameras on and do something embarrassing. Yeah. Thankfully, okay, my husband's taking our kids out of the house, so I have the house to myself right now. Yeah, things happen during lives, and you can edit it out, I suppose. Yeah. No. I think that's the fun thing of live, is you don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, no, I definitely going live with you guys is actually, it's a lot of fun. I love being able to see the connections people have formed within the live stream. So it's really nice. How many kids do I have? Two. I have 2 kids. I don't really share a lot about them just because I want to keep them private. I don't want to share them on the internet. Just because there's a lot of crazy people out there, so I really want to protect them. So like when I do share stuff about them, it's very what's the word? I won't tell you like, I don't know, personal things about them. I'll tell you general things about them. Okay. Kudos on tackling this dress. Heard many horror stories. Thank you. Generic. Yes, generic is the word that I'm looking for. So yeah, like I've showed, like I haven't shown their pictures and anything. And if I do share them in a costume, I block their face or show them from the back. So I'm very protective of them. I'm a mama bear. Okay. Yeah, well, I guess like growing up, I was the generation that we got a computer when I was a baby, but the internet wasn't a thing until much later on. And so I definitely believe in protecting children, and they are allowed to reveal what they want about themselves. But I do definitely think that it's our responsibility to keep them safe. Especially on the online world, because it's so connected. I mean, look at all of us. We have people from France, and I saw someone from Nebraska, and I think there's some Australians and Canadians, Americans. There's tons of us. So it's easy to get connected, but that also is kind of the scary thing about the internet, is because you don't really know who's on the other side. Okay. Germany, Norway, Cincinnati. I don't know how to pronounce those 2. Ireland, England, Atlanta, Chicago. Oh my goodness, so many of you. Sweden, South Australia, Oklahoma. I love you guys. See, but then like the internet is amazing because we can do things like this where we're all staying in our homes, but we're still staying connected. We're not being deprived of community just because we have to stay home to protect those who are not able to protect themselves. So yeah, this is amazing. Oh, there you go. community building on the internet is amazing. Zoom cocktail hour. That sounds fabulous. I know the CosTube group does Zooms, and I haven't been able to join one yet, but I'm hopefully going to be joining next week, so I'm excited for that. Okay. Okay, what costuming group am I in? Well, I have the Pacific Northwest Historic Costume Society on Facebook. I started that. Actually, it's on Instagram as well. I started that 2 years ago almost. And that is for costumers, historical costumers in the Pacific Northwest. So there's some of us in the States, a lot of us are in Canada. And so that's one of the groups I'm in. And then I'm also in the CosTube group, which is all the costumers who are on YouTube. So there's a group of us that chat on Zoom, or I guess they've just started chatting on Zoom. And yeah, there's a bunch of us and it's fun. And then we also have a support group that we talk about, or that we talk in. So it's really nice just to stay connected to everyone. So for those of you who wonder, most of us in the costuming community are friends. We talk, or at least on the YouTube costuming community. Yeah, it's really great, and they are all just as amazing as you think they are. Yeah, like I think there's a small group of us that chat pretty much every day, and it's really nice, and it's comforting, and it's really nice to be able to find friends that you connect with. So yeah, I love it. Okay, reaching the halfway point for hemming the second time around. Woohoo! I'll see you, Bernadette. I hope you have a lovely day, and good luck exporting the video. Any CosTubers I recommend? Oh, the list is huge. If you go to the Secret Santa, look up CosTube Secret Santa. There's a list of all the CosTubers that were involved in Secret Santa. I definitely recommend looking all of them up. I know it has grown quite a bit since then. Yeah, there's a lot of different CosTubers. Looking up the hashtag CosTube on YouTube will also bring them up as well. I think most of us are including that in our tags. So yeah, there's many of us on here. Okay. New to CosTube, inspired to start by you and Noelle. Oh, I'm glad. Welcome to CosTube. Like we always have open arms to everyone. Like this is a very open community, I think. We're all very supportive of each other, and yeah, I'm gonna change this a bit so you guys can see my face. Come on. There you go. Oh, it's still too loud. How's that? Okay, it's a little bit better. So it's not an artistic angle anymore, but now I can still feel like I'm talking to you guys. Okay. Just marathon the Secret Santa. Yes, there's so many of us out there. And I think we're going to be doing it again next year. At least that's last time we talked about it. That was the plan. So, and hopefully there will be more of us next year. So there'll be more people to introduce to everyone. Okay. Recorded, but I'm nervous to post. So the big thing, like when I first started recording, I was sweating bullets every time. That when you first start out, it's completely normal to be nervous. You're talking to a camera. It's something that's not, I don't know, you're not familiar with. But as you continue to do it, your skills will grow. You'll also start to have an eye for how you're editing things. And also watching videos on people's recommendations on how to edit things. It's amazing. It's something that you're constantly learning to grow in editing. I think Peter something. McCallan? I don't remember what his name is, but he has a great channel for showing how he videos stuff. And it's cool to see that kind of get a different eye on how to video things. So also, like, if you're just starting out, post and share it and be natural, I guess, or be yourself. I'm very much myself. When I'm filming my things, like, I have a little bit of a character that I put on, but for the most part, I'm myself. Which you guys can see what I'm like during these lives. Like, this is me. I'm normal. At least as normal as can be. But yeah, definitely post them, share them, and just have fun. That is the big thing, is have fun. If it becomes too stressful, then just take a step back. And yeah, I don't know. Okay. McKinnon, thank you. Peter McKinnon. Definitely is a channel to look up if you want editing ideas. He has lots of information on this channel. Okay. I always feel like who would want to watch me sew, and there's so many people in the community. Community is very sweet. I was the same way when I started out. I started my channel 2014. I officially restarted my channel in 2014. So when I first started, I think it was just me and Angela at the time. Like, I don't think I'd even found Angela yet at that point, or if she had started yet. I'm not sure, but just be yourself, and people are always drawn to people who are themselves. I think that is a big thing. Yeah. Okay, I gotta get back to this hem. I'm almost done this hem, and then I can start on something else. Okay. There is an audience for everyone. Yes, that is very true. There is an audience for everyone. Okay. Tea break. Yay! Actually, I have a cup of tea sitting over there that I made before I started the live. It sounds like my kids and husband are back, so yeah. skirt. Is it my chip cup again? No, it is my ER cup. So my chip cup was smaller and my ER cup is like a good 2 cups. Yeah. My ER cup is when I'm going for the long haul. I have an ER and I have a Winnie the Pooh. I actually got them from the first time I went to Disneyland. Oh, that would have been when I was like 8 or 9. Okay, have fun stitching. Have a good dinner. Yeah, ER is my one of my favorite Winnie the Pooh characters. ER and Tigger. Oh. Will this video be reposted? Yes. So it's all streaming to YouTube right now, and then it should stay up on my channel in my live stream area. So it will go back to the beginning. Or it will be available. Woohoo! Only this much left. Okay. There we go. Okay. It's done. Or at least the hem of the circle skirt is done. Now we have to do all the bias tape. Okay. Oh, something I forgot. I didn't finish this yesterday. I think I'm just going to end up serging this. I don't know. There's like multiple different ways you can finish it. You can do like a felled seam where you fold it in on each other. Or like a mock French seam. Could do that. I don't know. Okay. Cool. So first things first, I'm going to give the circle skirt hem just a quick press. And that way it's all nice and tidy. So yeah, definitely I am a huge advocate of pressing while you go. It makes everything so nice. It also settles all the bias hem nicely, so that's always good. Oopsie. Okay. So 2 hours just to do a hem. Oh. I don't know what they were thinking when they labeled this the WalkAway dress. It is definitely not something, well, maybe if you're like really fast, you can get it done in that time. I am not a super fast seamstress. I like taking my time. making things look pretty. Something actually that was mentioned yesterday is someone was going to be adding pockets to their, or they're asking how they could add pockets into their dress. So I actually got an idea to do patch pockets on the inside of the dress. So I don't know if I'm going to actually film that process, or I may just add something later on Instagram. But if you look up patch pockets, there's information on how to do patch pockets, or how to add patch pockets to things. So if those of you that are wanting pockets for this dress, definitely is something you can do, is adding patch pockets to the inside of the sheath part. So not the circle skirt, but I guess the front portion of the bodice. There we go. Nicely hemmed. Looks nice and clean from the outside. Woohoo! Just gonna quickly check. Okay, so something I forgot to check earlier when hemming is I'm just comparing my waist seams. So I've got them all straight there. And then so long as you did it right, the hems should match at the bottom, but that's always like a good thing to check. So yeah, cool. Okay. So, oh, you guys can see some projects that I'm working on up there. So the hem is done. We are in 1 hour and 43 minutes. Okay, let me just put this on here quickly. So adding the pockets, I've kind of pinned one, well, you guys can't really see it. Where did I get my dress from? I made it. So I actually have a link posted on my blog. My blog is not really a thing anymore. I just haven't taken it down. I'm not really doing anything with it. But I had a hard mannequin that I kind of went over with it. Please do a video wondering how to do patch pockets. If you look up couture patch pockets, they have more information how to do them. I'm not the best at patch pockets. I kind of I top stitch the entire thing, and I am an expert at. I think Zach from Pinset Tailoring might be doing a video on them. Don't quote me on that. He mentioned something in chat. So he might be doing something on it. I will ask him, let him know that there are people wanting patch pocket videos. I'll let him know about that. Okay, let's see. Okay, please. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I've kind of pinned a pocket on here. I don't know, actually, these were the center cutouts from the circle skirt. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be adding pockets yet, but I have them available for if I do add them. Can I put a video on how to do invisible patch pocket seam? Yes, please. Please do, and then tag me, because I'm not great at pockets. I just did top stitch them on. I have, what's the book? I have this book by Claire, oh, I know, Schaffer? She talks about patch pockets in here because they're very important with couture work. But yeah, I'm not the best at them. So definitely if you're wanting more couture work, pick up this book. It's really good. Okay. So that is on there. What am I doing next? What's next in the instructions? Encase the neck edge with double fold bias tape. Actually, okay, this is actually an important piece. When I'm doing bias tape, I like to shape my bias tape for when I'm doing curves. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that next. So just move this down here. Okay, so when shaping the neckline, this is my neckline or my pattern piece. I'm just gonna pin this here and hopefully you guys can see that. Now obviously you don't need the pattern to do this, but it is definitely helpful if you're going to shape it into a certain shape. So I'm just lining up my seam allowances. There we go. Okay. It's not perfect, but it's there. So when I'm working with bias tape, also the bias tape that I'm using for this is not 1/2 inch. The bias tape that I'm using is, I think, 3/8. I like the thinner bias tape just because I feel like it has a bit of a nicer look when you're doing projects where it's exposed. But again, that is personal preference. So for shaping it, they recommend starting it somewhere on the neck. So I'm just gonna do that there. And so I have the side that is open, facing towards the garment, because that is how it will be when we are stitching it on. So for shaping it, I'm just going to kind of hold it. And then bias tape likes to be shaped because it's cut on the bias, and so it stretches nicely. And then when you're stretching this around the neckline, it'll just hold its shape a little bit nicer when you go to sew it on. So that is that way. This is shaped already. So just pressing a curve into the bias tape will get a nice, clean kind of finish when you put it in yourself. Now this area down here has tape on it, so I'm not going to be able to press it right against the pattern. Because I do not want to melt that tape. So I'm just kind of going like that. Cool. So this has a nice curve pressed into it now. And that'll make it easier for sewing it on later. I found you late, but I found you. Welcome! Okay, so that is a nice curve pressed in there. And now I'm going to sew this onto the neckline. Now, when I sew bias tape, I sew it onto the wrong side of the fabric first. And then I flip it over and then sew it top stitch on the right side. So yeah, I will move you guys back over here so you can see what I'm doing now. Okay. So which side is the front? This side is the front. Oh, wait, one second. Bringing this back over so I still see you guys while I'm sewing. Okay, so this is the front, this is the back. Let's just think. Can you finish this with a facing instead of bias tape? You can, I think, or you can do it where it's single fold bias tape, and so you sew it on the right side and then fold it to the inside. So it'll be finished like that with the bias tape on the inside and it'll be clean finish on the outside. So the blog that I posted, Edelweiss Patterns, she finishes hers with single fold bias tape, and so all of it is finished to the inside like that. I'm just sticking with what the pattern says to do and going with the double fold bias tape. Okay. So my shoulder seams are pressed to the back. What am I doing? There we go. Now I'm going to try and do this without stretching my bias tape. So I've folded over the edge so I don't have a raw edge to start with. And then I'm just sewing on, following the neckline, just keeping things nice and simple. And then I'm just staying in the little fold of the tape. And again, I'm not forcing this as I'm folding or sewing it. I'm just, what's it called? I'm just letting the machine do the work and guiding it in. So you don't want to stretch the neckline at all, because then it'll distort the neckline, which is never a good thing. Something you can actually do as a precaution to keep the neckline from distorting is do stay stitching around the neckline before adding the bias tape. And that's something that is very useful. Oh my goodness. Got this all tangled up. Okay. There we go. I go all quiet when I'm concentrating. Okay. So what are your guys' plans after the live tonight? Is anyone doing anything exciting at home? Currently mattress stitching a sweater together. Oh, that sounds like fun. Okay, so now that I've gotten back to the beginning of the neckline, just grab my scissors here. This can be cut off now. There we go. So I've gotten back to the beginning of the neckline. I doubled this over and folded it so it has a nice clean edge. And then it's time to bring it to the right side of the fabric. And it's really simple, just a nice clean finish. So to stitch it back on, I'm essentially going in reverse now. Folded it over. And now I'm just going to do a nice clean edge stitch on the right side of the fabric. So it has a clean finish there. There'll be a clean finish on this side as well. And then the entire skirt is repeated with the bias binding. So essentially you're sewing over the entire thing twice, but it has a really nice clean finish. And there are actually some machines that have a special bias binding foot. So you put the bias binding in there and it sews both sides at the exact same time and you just sew around it once. And it's amazing. I really want one of those feet, but I don't think they have them for at least my industrial machine. So if I've done this correctly, this should look really nice when I'm done. almost done the neck. Okay, so getting back to the end, I didn't actually clip these threads off. This side, I've folded the seam over, and I'm actually going to open this up a little bit, fold it over, and then fold everything back in so all the edges are nice and clean. I don't know if that makes sense the way I just said that, but essentially I'm just trying to hide everything inside. And I'm going to trim this back just a little bit. So I want this to be as clean and small as possible, but as well have a really nice finish. I suppose if I was really worried about it, I could hand stitch it in. But I am happy with how this looks. That's good. Finishing UFOs is really good. I have a very big pile of UFOs. It's usually when I'm not happy with a project, I banish it to the UFO section. There we go. Cool. So that is in there. I'm just going to give this a nice clean press now, and we'll see how it looks. Move you guys over so you can see. Come on. There we go. So we're going to lay this out flat. Just kind of steam the bias into shape. So it's not perfect, but I am happy with how it looks. And just, yeah, using lots of steam, just reshaping the neckline. Okay. Sorry guys, I'll reposition these so you can see it. Oh, see my lovely working areas of mess. Okay, so that is on there like that. It is nice and smooth. And then the back here is where it joins. And if I'm really worried about it, I can take a needle and thread and just kind of join that together. So yeah. What do you guys think? Looks good? Okay, next step. So the next step is to encase the side seams of everything. Oh, I forgot to hem the front portion of the skirt. Hello, Morgan. Okay, so I'm going to encase the, oh goodness. There's so many little things I've forgotten to do. Yes, nice smooth neckline. I'm quite happy with it. So really just the key to that is just not to pull anything. Yeah, just try and let the machine do all the work in feeding everything through and not try to force it anywhere. Okay, so before I can continue, I actually have to hem the bottom of this because I forgot to hem the front portion of this. And then I also have to finish encasing this. I'm trying to decide how I'm going to do it. I could serge it and just do it really quickly. It'll be a clean finish. It'll be clean on the inside and it'll be fast. Or I could do it. I don't know, guys. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm happy with how that neckline looks. I'm really happy with that. Okay. So I need to figure out my next step here, but first I'm getting a drink. There we go. That is my cup there. It's a nice big one. I have this one and then Winnie the Pooh. And they're like matching sizes. My sister has a piglet one, which is adorable. But yeah, definitely like this one. Okay. I need to figure out the hem on my skirt. So I'm going to move you guys over here. And kind of put my skirt back up. Okay, yeah, serging is the easiest way I think to go. Okay, you know what? I'm taking this down. I'm just being, it's unplanned here. I don't know. I thought I'd finished things and I'm a lot further behind than I thought. Okay. You see me getting all flustered. Let me grab this. Here's my waistline. Waistline. Okay. So I'm just double checking my skirt length. So I'm pinning the waistline of my overskirt to the waistline of my, I guess, sheath. Just to make sure I have everything even. So I'm just going to do a quick turn and turn tiny hem because I just realized I cut my sheath skirt to the stitching line. So it's going to be, it's the same length that my circle skirt is hemmed. So I'm going to do a really, really tiny little hem to fix that problem. So yay. Okay. Let me quickly do this and then we'll get on with the stitching of everything else. So yeah, you might make mistakes, everyone. I am not a perfect seamstress. It is just part of what. Don't get flustered. We're not going anywhere. Okay. I'm just running a little bit shorter on time. I thought I was going to be done by 3:30 today, and that's in 15 minutes. So that's not going to happen. So I may have to, I could use the bias tape hem. I could do that. Yes. Thank you. That is a brilliant idea. I think actually, oh, I don't know if I have enough. I may have to save that total because it asked for 3 packets of bias tape. You know what? I'm just going to do a little tiny hem because I don't know if will have enough bias tape. If I do it just like a 1/2 inch, it'll be fine. It's mostly hidden underneath anyways. So I'm just going to do a tiny little turned up hem. I'm literally turning it 1/4 inch. So it's just a wee little baby hem. Like a really baby hem. Yeah, I'll just go with what I'm doing right now. It's inventive. We'll say that. Seamstresses are great problem solvers. We have to be. It comes with the line of work. Okay. Someone is being all sorts of inventive right now. If it works, it works. Awesome. Okay. Just did a regular seam and then I think I'm going to serge it. You can try doing a French seam if you want. I don't know how that'll turn out. Or you could also do a regular seam and then bind the edges, do a Hong Kong finish on the edges, and that way it'll be nice and clean on the inside. The seam. I've done one turn, and I'm just going to turn it once again. So just a very, very tiny turn and turn hem. So this isn't perfect, but I don't care. I like it. Have a good night. Thank you for joining. Okay, hem problem fixed. Cool. I'm just going to give this a quick press now. So yeah, just a little baby hem. And again, if anyone is that close at closely looking at the hem, they're not there for the hem. There we go. Okay, so the little baby hem is done. Now it is time for the bias tape on the side seams. So for the back seam, oh, I haven't done this yet. Yeah. Let me move you guys back over here. Okay, actually, I'm gonna quickly go check with my husband, see how everything is okay, or if everything is okay with my kids, our kids, and see if I can stay a bit longer, because I'm reaching the 2.5 hour mark, and I might have to come back for a third live stream. So we'll see. I'll be back in a minute. You like chocolate pie? Okay, let me just finish what I'm doing now. I mean, chocolate cake. Yeah. Okay, I'll finish up what I'm doing now. Okay, guys, so I'm going to be allowed to sew for a little bit longer. I'm just going to put a movie on for the kids, and then I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. There we go. Also a fan of chocolate pie. Yeah, my daughter loves chocolate pie. My kid is much larger and older, but would still enjoy chocolate pie in a movie. Oh man, okay. Yeah, that is my eldest. She loves baking with daddy. Hello, Morgan. Okay, so next step. Next step, I'm going to be putting on the binding. Let's just throw this back on here for a second so you guys can see. That's my youngest. I'll be back in a minute. 1 second, guys. Hey, sweetie, what's wrong? Okay. Okay. No, she's fine now. Yes, chocolate pie is delicious. Everything's fine. Just, she didn't have her nap today, so she's just a little grumpy. She's transitioning out of naps, so it's fun times right now. You see a wig under one of these hats. Up here? Yes. I have 2 wigs up there. So those are both my bell wigs. Very good. Do more live streams. Okay, live streams are fun. I at least try to do them once a month. Usually it's when my girls are in bed just because it's easier that way. And sorry about this funky angle, but yes, those are both my my bell wigs up there. Okay. So, next step. Okay. So this is all hemmed. That's good. Next, I am going to trim down this dart. So on the inside, my dart is quite large. I'm going to trim that down and then just quickly whip the edges. And then I can go ahead and start attaching. Actually, you know what? I have to serge that back bit first. Okay, I'm going to grab my serger. Just a second, guys. And you get to see me try and, oh, have a good day. So you get to see me try and change my thread because I'm not great at changing my thread. Do I need to? It's white on the inside. I can stick with the white. We're fine. Do I have a plug up here. Whoopsies. Okay, guys, let's see how this goes. So I have my lovely serger. You guys don't really get the best view of this. And always test before you go. Yeah. Okay, I am happy with that. Sorry, I missed your comment there. Okay. Cool. So I am just going to quickly serge this. It's a very, whoopsies, very interesting angle for you guys. Cool. That is all nice and serged now. You know what? I'm going to do that one more time and actually bring it down just a little bit narrower because it's quite a thick line. Okay, one more time, guys. Sorry if this is really jerking you guys. You know what? That was a close call. We're just going to leave it at that. That could have been really bad. Okay, moving on. I'm not used to serging while standing up. So we're just leaving it with a wide serge. Because I just about cut into the fabric. Oh. Cool. So that edge is all finished. That is all in there. There we go. Okay. I have to put things away because Morgan's watching, and no, I really do like having things put away in their spots. And it's really nice when there's a spot for everything. So. I'm going to close that door. Okay, so the neckline is done. I still have to do these, but I can do that later. It is time to put the binding on the sides of the skirts. So all 4 sides need to be, let me just make sure, I'm going to double check the new directions. My room is a mess. Well, Morgan, you're watching, so I have to keep it tidy, you know. Which still, I'm still thankful that you helped me clean up my room, because it's, for the most part, it's stayed organized, which is good. Okay. So, encase the edge of the front and back with the bias tape. There we go. So we're getting really close to finishing this. So front and back edges need to be encased with the bias tape. Just make sure. So that is 1. I'm just gonna, and I'm not gonna cut it off yet. 2, 3. So I have enough to do 3 edges with this piece. So that is what I'm going to start doing. Scissors can smell fear. Oh, there's many things that can smell fear. Seam rippers, especially. Seam rippers can smell fear. They know when you're afraid of them. Okay. How's everyone doing? How are your projects doing? If you're not doing this so long, how are you doing so far? Okay. I'm really enjoying this so long, and I'm glad you guys are here. So, moving on, it is time to attach those pieces. And I know I keep repeating myself, but bad habit. Actually, before I attach the pieces, I'm going to give this a quick press in the back, because I want this to be nice and tidy. There we go. Nice clean press on that. It's all pressed up and looks really good. Okay. So now you guys get to go on a little adventure again and move back over here. So, is there a hashtag so you can see everyone's work on Instagram? Yes, the hashtag is ERC Sew Along, or WalkAway Dress Sew Along, or B4790 Sew Along. So I'm using all three, but you are welcome to use whichever one you so desire. Okay. Cool. Now you guys can still see me while I sew. Okay. All right. So you guys are working on good. Your sewing room is just about tidy as it can be. Yay! Sewing masks, sleeves. Sleeves. Are you watching Kathy's video? Foundations Revealed is opening again soon. And right now they have 4 videos coming out on sleeves. So one came out a couple days ago. I think there's a second one out now. And so yes, definitely go check that out. Foundations Revealed is doing a free sleeve seminar, I guess. Definitely go look it up if you are worried about sleeves. There we go. Okay, starting again on the wrong side of the fabric. I'm just opening up my stuff. My bias tape. Double fold bias tape. There we go. So classy today. Oh, it's not right. I didn't open it up all the way. There we go. Okay, and again, I'm just trying not to stretch the bias tape. I'm just letting it do its thing. Part 2 of the sleeves workshop will be posted tomorrow. All right. Gotta run, catch up, and later. All right, have a good one. Take me to the kitchen with you. No, seriously, like when I'm watching longer videos on YouTube, I love, like I'm usually doing dishes when I'm watching my longer videos. Okay. So first side is on. Now they say in the instructions to leave a little bit of a tail so you can fold under the edge for a nice clean finish. So that is what I'm going to be doing. There we go. So I'm just trimming this off about an inch. And that way I can finish that later. Now this would be much easier to finish more cleanly if I'd sewn it on the right side, but c'est la vie. What's done is done. Okay. So I'm just turning it over. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim the bottom half of this away. So when I fold it up, there isn't going to be as much in the seam allowance. And then it's nice and tidy when I fold it once again. And then I will slip stitch it once I get all these done. Okay, so I'm just edge stitching the, it's a little bit clunky, but to try and pull it through, I actually pull the back strings or the back threads to keep it from getting sucked under the feed dogs. And that just is really helpful. If your fabric's not wanting to be fed through because it's really tiny. There we go. So much bias. So much bias binding. This would be much easier without, or with one of those bias binding foots. Feet, foot, one of those things. Okay, so what is another topic anyone would like to talk about? Or are we just kind of chatting? Simple like? I don't know. There we go. I'm really hoping my Wi-Fi doesn't start dying shortly. What have you and your family been eating the past couple weeks? Well, I really lucked out. My husband actually went to school for culinary, so all of his culinary training is kicking in. And he has been making a lot of very delicious meals that I will not entice you with. We have been having a lot of leftovers though as well, but he's been definitely having fun in the kitchen. So Yeah, culinary was his thing before he went to baking. So definitely lucked out on that end of things. I hope you have a good night. Sleep well. Okay, what is my favorite non-sewing hobby? Reading. I would say definitely reading. I like reading. Or laying in the sun, which is not really a hobby. Is sleeping a hobby? Can I call that a hobby? It's something I don't really get to do a lot of, but yeah. Oh no. This is being a little tricky. Okay. Tonight you are having chili. Oh, that's good. Chili Mac? Chili Mac. What was the last good book you read? Oh, well, I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks lately, so I don't know if that counts. But I would say Northanger Abbey, because I was getting inspired for some Jane Austen stuff. Because I have some Jane Austen or Regency content coming out on my channel pretty soon. So definitely Northanger Abbey was a good one. Otherwise, the Fiery Cross, I finished listening to that on audiobook. Let's see, tricky. See, I've also been doing a lot of Regency research lately, so you will be having. Oh no, I'm doing a lot of Regency stuff. I'm trying to do a history video, kind of like the different decades of the Regency, but it's not easy to find a lot of primary research. Most of the research that I've come across is definitely a lot of secondary research. So finding primary sources is something that I'm working on. Okay. Where do I find inspiration for new projects? It depends if the project is historical or modern. I'll do a lot of looking on Pinterest. If I'm looking for something specific for like a specific time period, definitely looking in books, different decades. Yeah. And then just finding research or finding inspiration from what's around you. So I've been playing with a couple ideas for a nature themed project, because I have this amazing leaf. I don't know if you'd call it a button. I'll show it to you in a minute. There we go. Okay, so I have to go back and fix a section here because I missed the bias binding. There we go. Okay. First one is done. Yay! Woohoo! So that one, thankfully, is. Oh no, that's one of the front panels. Never mind. That's a front panel. Let me show you the button I was talking about. So I picked this up several years ago. It's got a little hook on it to attach. I don't think it would actually classify as a button, but I really want to do something inspired by it. So I have no idea what yet. But I love it. It's so pretty. So things like that, like finding pieces like that are something that inspires me. Yes, for audiobooks, like as I mentioned yesterday in my live, I get my audiobooks from the library. With my library card, I can get, I think it's RB Digital is the name of the company that I'm using through my library. So I get free library books through them. So that's really nice. Looks like it would look good on a cloak or a cape. Yes. That is kind of the plan. Haven't fully decided. You know what? I'm going to trim this down a little bit because I don't want this white section showing. Okay, so I'm kind of being bad by doing that, but whatever. I don't want that white section showing when I sew it on. Let me just make sure that'll be covered. Cool. Yay! Alrighty. What else was I saying? I am working on the WalkAway dress. So Butterick 4790 is the pattern that I'm working on. So yeah, if you want to see, actually I can grab that. This is the pattern I'm working from. So it's supposed to be a 4-hour dress. But yesterday's live stream was 2.5 hours, and today's live stream is 3 hours. So definitely not a 4-hour dress. Okay. So, time to add more of the binding. Again, I'm just leaving about 1 inch at the bottom. Love your fabric. Thank you. Yeah, I picked this up several years ago from Fabricland, I believe. I think it was Fabricland. And it's just been sitting in my stash waiting for me to do something with it. So it definitely is a nice little project. It's fairly simple, I think. What do you guys like? For those of you who are doing this so long, what are your thoughts on this project? 4 hours if you're making your 5th or 6th and can do it in your sleep. Yes, I will agree with that. Sure, we'll go with that. Alrighty. I think there was that lady down in Africa. Not in Africa. She made dress. She'd sew a dress a day and send them to Africa. I don't remember. I saw a news thing several years ago where she makes a dress a day and sends all the dresses that she makes to Africa for kids, which I thought is really cool. Yeah. Okay, chit chat and filming makes the time go faster. Yes. It's okay. Yeah. No, definitely not a race. It's fun chatting with you guys though. If pattern already fits you. Yes, I will say I think I spent probably about 6 hours doing the alterations to that dress pattern. Yeah. I think once you get it to fit, I'm looking at making more of this dress. I really want to do a wrap version. I came across, what was it? I came across a version, I think it was from later in the 50s, where it's actually a wrap bodice. Oop. So I would love to make one of those. Make one of those in the future. Watching ads. Is there ads playing on here? It's interesting. I don't think I've ever had ads come up on a live video before. Okay. Real life happens. Yep. No, still working away. So be here for a little while longer. Getting a lot closer to finishing though, which is good. Is anyone watching the Outlander episode tonight? Sadly, I don't have stars, so I won't be able to watch it. I know you can get it through Amazon Prime, but I just haven't gotten around to doing that yet. There we go. Cool. Ads show up when you refresh the window. Interesting. I did not know that. I discovered there are fabric. Too bad even for mock-ups. That's what I get when you buy them online. Yeah, back before I knew better, I bought the cheapest costume satin I could to do mock-ups. Bad idea, very bad idea. Don't understand how the back of the dress will be closed. Okay, there is. Let me find it. Oh goodness. There's the dress. Okay. So this portion fits around the waist, and then we'll have a button closure in the back. So it'll have a loop coming off of here and a button sewn on this side, so it'll just button close in the back. So it's really quite simple. I guess you could do a snap, but they recommend a button. So, oops. There we go. For those of you who don't know, I have a little screen down here so I can see the chat, because it's really hard to see the chat from way up there. Okay. So, moving back to the other side, this one's done. And, oh my goodness, it's so easy to get lost in this dress. Okay. Yes. Okay. So, I want to stretch out the armholes, so I'm trying to keep everything on my lap. So now, just attaching the bias binding to the other side again. Now comes the fun part of the dress where it's all bias binding. Oh no, my phone looks like it's gonna die. Sorry, 1 second, guys. It's at 5%. Oh no. I forgot that my phone, because it dies very quickly. Cool. Yay! Saved it at 2%. Okay. Hopefully that is okay now. This one's still at 20%. Anyways, so my phone usually lasts for like up to 2 hours for live streams, but this is a 3-hour one. So, yay. Yeah, okay. So, back to the bias binding. Never-ending binding. So the narrow underskirt does not have a back seam. Interesting. Yes. It makes it easier for when you're walking. That's a lot of people's complaints for why it feels more like a hospital gown. But yeah, it doesn't close in the back really. So if you're worried about strong winds, yes, strong wind is not a good thing with this dress. Definitely wear shorts underneath or maybe a slip. Yeah, that would not be fun times. Okay. Hospital gown. Yeah. No, it's been compared to a hospital gown on several reviews that I've read. This one's going to be very nice fitting hospital gown. Very chic fabric. Thinking of the petticoat to give the 50 silhouette. On the Edelweiss blog, there is instructions to do a petticoat for this. Now, because it is a sheath kind of underskirt, the petticoat she actually split in the front, so it actually starts at around the hips and then goes around the back. So it is possible to add a petticoat to this. I didn't explain it very well, but her instructions on the website are pretty informative. So definitely check out Edelweiss patterns for that. Seeing as truck trailer, it's like a giant sail. Oh, yeah, no. Oh. All right. Just folding under this little bit again so it can be a nice clean finish. There we go. Definitely a lot easier the second time around, as I jinx myself. Isn't that the way it goes? Okay, I'm just going to stop that there because, whoops. There we go. I'm going to do a hand finish on that later. It's not wanting to close nice. Cool. Yay, got it. Okay, you're back kids are in bed. Yay! Mine are watching a movie. Okay, where did that? There it is. Oopsies. Not in the bias tape. So, yeah. So Sarah, I mentioned earlier there is actually a petticoat design that kind of works. It goes over top of the skirt. Edelweiss Patterns did a design for it. Essentially, you put the dress on, button it around, and then put the petticoat on over top of that, and then the petticoat has a slit in the center, and so it sits off to the sides, and then the other dress wraps around it. So it's kind of like you're wearing the petticoat in the middle of the dress, if that makes sense. Why did the British Sewing Bee put loops on with the bias tape in the front? There is a couple different ways to close the dress. One way is the loops with buttons. Another way, which is suggested in the Butterick pattern, is snaps down the center front. What I'm going to be doing is actually sewing 3 hook and eyes, alternating sides with the hook and eyes, just so it's a secure front close. It really depends on really just the style that you're going for. There is a button with a loop in the back for the button closure. So yeah. Okay, so 2 sides done. And before I work on the next side, I need to fix this dart. So I'm going to move you guys back over there. Quickly plug you back in before my phone dies. Okay, so I've got the back bias sewn on. That's all a nice clean finish. Seriously, there's so much dress. Okay, so for the front, my darts are kind of wonky. Oh, I don't want to stretch this, so I gotta be more careful. So the darts are supposed to be pressed up, and so I've got my dart. You guys can see that. Thank you. So my dart is pressed up like that, so I'm just going to follow this line and trim that off. And then throw a pin in there. So actually, no, not yet. You know what? The dart's not too bad. If the dart was any wider, they recommend trimming down the dart until it's about 5/8 of an inch. And that's just if you're wanting to reduce bulk. I don't think I'm actually too worried about it. So I'm just going to leave the dart like that, because it's not as thick as I thought it would be. And then I'm just going to go to the other side and do the exact same thing. Okay. Oh no! Did I just do that wrong? Okay. I pressed the dart the wrong way, so I am going to be doing what I just said I wasn't going to do. Okay. So They recommend 5/8. I'm gonna just go right there. Now my dart is slightly shaped just for my bust. Okay, so the dart is trimmed off, and now I'm going to overcast the edges just so I don't have to worry about it fraying. Technically I could serge it if I wanted to, but I'm going to overcast the edges. So there's my dart point. When doing the bust darts, you want to press the bust dart towards the waist, and I accidentally put it up towards the not the waist, the top. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to do some quick throw on my thimble. Okay, 1 second. There we go. So now I can read your guys' comments again. Plug this in as well. Okay, so I got my needle and thread. Now the recommendation I've always been told for needle and thread is you want to do an arm's length of thread. I just go just slightly longer. But yeah, apparently it makes it easier to sew. Okay, so I'm just going to start right here. Just a quick little whip stitch. Around the edge. There we go, and this will just keep the dart from fraying too much. There we go. Partial to Pride and Prejudice because I was born a Miss Bennet. I have an aunt who is a Mrs. Bennet. And her name is Liz. Yeah. Funnily enough. So this isn't my tidiest work. But it'll suffice. So much easier to do this when you're sitting down. Okay. My mom told me a story of a kid about a tailor who liked one of his daughter's suitors. He gave the one he liked short threads. The one he didn't like Long threads. Nice. Yeah. Nice. I like that story. What are your guys' thoughts on the new Frankenstein that is on Amazon, not Amazon, on Netflix? Haven't watched it yet, but I'm intrigued by it. Cool. So that's just a quick whip stitch. And now repeat on the other side. All right. There you are, Dart. It's a fresh take on the Dracula story. Awesome. I made 2 of these previously by taking the second one apart right now to make it better. Wore it on a date with my husband, and I pulled it out to show him what I was doing. Yay! No, I like this dress. I think I'll definitely making another one again in the future. I really want to try doing a wrap bodice, which is more alterations, but I think it'll be nice. I think it's my eldest. I can hear her outside playing with blocks. Guess she got bored of the movie. Kids never stop. No, they just keep going. They're also, mine are like Energizer bunnies. They don't ever stop. Maybe at bedtime for about 20 minutes. If I'm lucky, yes. All right, almost finished whipping the edges of this down. Oops. Did you guys watch that movie with Dakota Fanning where she wrote Frankenstein? I haven't seen that one yet either. I don't know how the costumes are in it, but I'm intrigued with it. I hope you have a good night. Sleep well. Oh. Okay. So I've finished whipping the edges. And now it is time to finish bias. Let's just see. Okay, bye. Oh goodness. You can get lost in this dress. There's the shoulder seam. Okay. So the darts are done. Been whipped down. Next is putting on the bias tape on these two sides, and then I can do the bias tape all around the arms. And then it's pretty much done. Other than that, it's just adding buttons and closures. So we're getting really close to finishing this. Yay! Okay, do you guys think I can get it done before I hit the 4-hour mark? I really hope so. I'll be right back. 1 second. Loki, what you doing? Alrighty. Piece of cake. Okay. Let's set a timer. 25 minutes from now is the goal to be finished everything except for sewing on closures, because that always takes me a long time. Okay, so I'm going to put my head down and get to work. Let's do this. Get another packet of bias binding. What? Long time to sew with no breaks, but I think you can do it. Okay. Wish me luck, guys. I'm going to move you over here so you can see what I'm doing again. Almost go. Almost go. I have to plug this back in so don't lose power. Okay. Yes, feels like the Great British Sewing Bee. Oh my goodness, I'm completely hooked on that show right now. I just started season 1 of it because I watched the episode with the WalkAway Dress because obviously I had to do that. Oh my goodness, I really enjoy that show. And there's no drama, like, I think there's a little bit of drama, but there's no drama like watching oh, what's that runway show? Not America's Next Top Model. Whatever the other show is. Yes, they are also nice to each other. Is Great British Sewing Bee on Netflix? No, I'm actually watching it on YouTube. I just typed in Great British Sewing Bee and I found Project One Way. Thank you. So I found it on YouTube. There is, I think, 3 seasons on there. Yeah, it's really cute. The 3rd episode in the 1st season, actually, doesn't show up, so you can find a version where everyone's voices are really sped up and loud or squeaky. But other than that, most of the episodes that I've watched on there are pretty good quality. Alrighty. Okay. 4:37. Let's do this. Get it done by 5 o'clock. Just glad I don't have anyone inspecting my seams afterwards. I do wonder what it'd be like to be on a show like that. I think it'd be fun, but very stressful. All right. Kind of funny. When I was planning this out, I wasn't sure how long it would take to do this, and so I was like, oh, I hope this is like not too short. I don't want people to get bored or anything. Or not too long. I had some interesting comments yesterday about yesterday's being interesting camera angles that you guys wanted to. Oh yes, thank you. Someone said I had some interesting camera angles and they wanted to see more of what I was doing and less of my back while I was sewing. So I tried to incorporate that into today's. I hope today's has been better because I'm really still learning how to do this live. Only 62 of us. Okay, sewing. So thank you everyone who has stuck around. Yeah, this has been very enjoyable. And for those of you who are watching, I guess after the live stream has ended, thank you for getting this far. just like sewing with a friend. I'm glad. That's what I really wanted this to be, is I want it to be a time where people could just relax and feel like you're just chilling with someone. You don't feel alone, because I know a lot of people are feeling alone right now or isolated, and it's not something that's fun. My first year of university, the only time I really saw people was at school, because I had 12-hour days at class. I'd get there at 8 in the morning and leave at 8 at night, just with the amount of work I was doing. So yeah, I can definitely understand what it feels like to be isolated. And it's not fun at all. Come on. There we go. Now you're happy. Now you're behaving. Does anyone else talk to their fabric if it's not doing what you want it to do? Right. Oh, I'm glad I'm not alone. Funny, because I think people who don't sew or don't do hobbies like this, they think you're crazy when you say you talk to your fabric. Or at least that's been my experience. Oh yes, I've had many a battle with my seam ripper. Especially when it slices into something that you really didn't want it to slice into. Nightmare. Just nightmare. One second, guys. What's
it's time to come out.
Okay, 5 more minutes.
Okay.
Okay. I guess it is dinner time. So I'm going to finish the seam and then I'm going to have to call it a night. And Paper Bag Princess. Is that the one? Fairy Tale with the girl who wears the paper dress? Paper Bag Princess, I believe that one's called. Okay. Yes, that is my eldest. She is just like her daddy, which in some ways is great. In other ways is so exasperating because she knows how to argue with me. Okay. 8 minutes and 40 seconds. Let's see. I can go a bit over 5 minutes. I'm definitely not going to get this dress done by 5:30. Or by 5:30 maybe. But I will be finished the live before then, sadly. So, let's see. Crunch time. daughter may not know, my husband would. Okay. Getting so close. It's getting excited now. So if I don't get, well, I'm obviously not going to get it done in the next 5 minutes, but would you guys be interested in doing maybe a hangout closer to 9 o'clock tonight? Because I might be able to come back and then just finish the dress tonight, if that works. I'll have to ask my husband that to make sure he is okay with me coming back into the sewing room for the rest of the evening. He might just watch a movie, so he'll probably say okay. Yes, come back. Okay. Surprised I'm still going. Yeah, I planned to be finished by 3 o'clock, 3:30. But you know what? It's on a roll. Not going to ruin a good thing. Okay. Fold this over. Definitely come play over on Instagram with us. It is so much fun over there. Okay, so all these side pieces are sewn up. I think I'm going to leave it here for tonight. Talking to that screen down there. You know what, let me hang it up and then I'll do my little goodbye for you guys. Do. Okay. So, progress this far. There's the front. My little side pieces are all sewn on. So yeah, for those of you who are wondering, this will have a little loop attached and then a little button will go there. So for now, it's just pinned. But yeah, it's very open hospital gown in the back. And it crosses over in the front right now because my mannequin is slightly smaller than I am, as I mentioned earlier. So yeah, it is looking really good and I'm really happy with how she's come along so far. So I guess I will say goodbye for now. And if I can come back on later tonight, it'll probably be around 9 o'clock. Otherwise, I will post the finished product on Instagram later. So yeah, if I come back, I will see you guys later. And I hope you all have a lovely evening. Thank you so much for joining me for part 2. I'm going to try and come back. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Bye.